Satanism. To most, it conjures images of medieval black masses or sinister deeds done for the devil. Must expose all the evil being done in the name of Satan.
Be like, huh? What is this thing?
Hello, everybody. Oh, that's way too big. Let me shrink that down. I don't know how it got so big.
That's what she said.
That is what she said. Hey, it's time for Charlatan's Web, where we attack some grifters. And mostly I've been doing this alone, but I don't like doing it alone, so I'd rather have somebody along for the ride. So, in light of that, I brought along my friend Nancy from Apostate Sisters. Nancy, tell everybody who you are.
Hi, everyone. I think everyone knows me at this point, but if you don't, I am one half of the Apostate Sisters. I'm Nancy, and I have a channel with my older sister, Patty, and we grew up in a doomsday cult known as the Worldwide Church of God under Herbert W. Armstrong. Still very active today as far as the offshoots go. To sum it up real quickly, you could kind of compare the cult we were raised into like JWs, also a little bit of like Mormon Seventh-day Adventists. So we didn't have Christmas, we didn't have birthdays, we didn't eat pork or shellfish, all the fun things. And basically, they stripped you of all your own mental capacity and your bodily autonomy. So you didn't even own yourself. There were a lot of manipulative tactics there. And so one of the things that we do is break down the way that it affects us in our everyday life now as adults who have gotten away from it. So to sum it up, we have a few different series going on, including an interview series as well. So yeah, join us over there if you haven't already.
Yes. Yeah, someone dropped the link if I could. Do I have
thanks, love.
Let's got a wrench. I can't believe Look at the Trees doesn't have a wrench, but I'm going to give him one now.
Oh, it's Trees. Hey.
Yeah.
Hi, PC. Yeah, I have to kind of look off to see the comments here. Sorry.
You're okay. No problem. This is like a new thing that I'm doing. I've done 2 episodes so far of Charlatan's Web. We did one on this. There were these two gentlemen named Sean Manchester and David Farrant, who were involved in what they call the Highgate Vampire. So
It's so good.
they both had different ideas of what it took to slay the vampire. One of them was like a Wiccan like priest guy and all that, and the other one was was from this church called the traditional Catholic Church, or the old Catholic Church is what he called it. But he was just a Nazi.
Medieval.
Yeah, he was just a Nazi. That's all it was.
Yes. I remember that there were just witch trials. Apparently, there were actual trials for people that were accused of being either vampires or werewolves. Like, this was the thing. People have actually apparently gotten executed for being, vampires.
And the show we did last week was on a werewolf. I did vampires and then werewolves, and now I'm doing aliens. So
I love it. Aliens. I'm so excited for the aliens. And that's another reason that I'm here, Bree. Not just because I love you, but I am a huge cryptids fan, especially when it comes to like alien technology and UAPs. And I've actually been following this a little bit too. So
yes. Let me just
Dr. Greer.
Let me say hi to everybody real quick, and then we'll talk about what tonight's show's at. And I got a special treat for everybody, and then we'll get started. Yay. So, Lost Explorer Guild, thanks to the Apostate Sisters rule. I didn't know if you knew that or not.
Hey!
But, yeah.
We see you all the time. Hi, love. Hey, Dr. Ben, Stephanie Helms, Tilting Windmill, Spooky Bed Hair, Trees, all of you, PC.
Yes, PC is here. Bugbot. Yes, that's my my artificial intelligence. It's not very intelligent though, but it can do this. Check this out. This is my favorite thing that that Bugbot can do. Let's see. So if you do !woo in the chat, it should play some music. Can you hear it? No,
I can't hear.
You can't hear
it.
The chat and me can hear it. Sorry, you're not privy to it. It plays the X-Files theme.
Oh, as long as your guests hear it, that's fine.
Yes. The people in the live chat should hear it.
Okay, cool.
All right, so Stephen Greer is
woohoo.
Yeah, he's sort of it's hard to say it's a UFO cult, but he's kind of the leader of this movement, and it's got two prongs to it, which we'll explore both end of it. One end is a very spiritual side to this, which involves meditation and higher consciousness and all that. The other one is very, very rooted in UFO, hard science, extraterrestrial technology, and all that, and government cover-up. So there's two prongs to this guy's story, and we're going to cover both of them tonight in some capacity. We'll probably focus more on the spiritual stuff because I'm really interested in the cult aspect of the whole thing, and that's sort of the flag I'm trying to wave with this whole series here is that, hey, these are cults. But before I do that, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. And can you remind me too, Brie? I'm a little bit less familiar with Dr. Greer than I am people like Luis Elizondo and James Fox. What is the religious background of Dr. Greer? Does he just kind of consider himself spiritual? Because I feel like I've seen like some of his interviews and documentaries that he's actually a believer in some sort of God.
He's a transcendentalist, which is sort of believes that all time exists at one time and there's only one being. We're all the same being living at a different phase in its life. It's really out there, but
and telepathy and all that. Yeah, he believes in all that stuff. Okay, cool. I'm excited.
Before we get into Stephen Greer, I'll actually pull up his Wikipedia article and stuff. We're gonna give it a quick once over before we start, so everybody gets familiarized with the guy. So before we do that, though, there is something very special I wanted to do. So my roommate Dr. Ben.
Dr. Ben
has started a new channel with a new series that I think y'all will absolutely love.
Hilarious.
It's called Holy Spirits. He brings on his guest, and they have some drinks, and they tell Bible stories as their inebriated minds remember them, somewhat in the vein of drunk history.
It's the best way to do it.
Yes. So, without further ado, let's do it. Here's the promo, and this starts next Saturday. And my show will lead in to Holy Spirits next Saturday. So don't even fret about that. Here we go.
Hey.
And for the non-Lord did not say to the people, Amen, for he is not holy. Repeat after me. For he is not holy.
For he is
She's
not
darling.
holy.
Amen.
He is not holy.
Cross yourself.
My name's Secular Rarity. I'm drinking an apple cider, and we're talking about the time that Jacob wrestled God.
And I'm going to tell you the story of Adam and Eve, but I now live in Phoenix and I don't have any friends, so I'm going to tell it to you as though I'm spilling tea. I'm going to tell you this story as though we're getting together for brunch and I'm just spilling hot goss that I've been waiting to tell you.
That's Holy Spirit. All right. So.
What a great name for that. How perfect.
Yeah. Brilliant naming. Oh, not that.
I am all for getting drunk and talking about the Bible. I think it's genius.
Right. And yeah, I'm gonna have some drinks tonight while we talk about aliens. So
sounds good.
Here we go. Let's first of all, like I said,
let's look you have clips tonight, right?
Yes, we do have videos we're gonna go through, like little short ones, so we can like kind of parse out which topics we want to actually cover and don't have to just go through and watch the whole interview. So Stephen Greer.
Okay. Oh yeah. Okay, he kind of kicked this off. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So
I was just verifying this.
Yeah, Stephen Macon Greer, born 1955, so he's my dad's age. Is an American ufologist and a retired physician. People use that, Dr. Stephen Greer, and he is a doctor, but like his doctorate's not in like
pseudoscience.
UFOs. Right? He's got like no more training in like aerial phenomena than you or me, and you maybe have more because I've seen you up in the air a couple of times, I think.
So he calls himself a ufologist. Are they going to change that to UAPologist? UAPologist?
I don't think they will ever change that. Ufologist is going to be it's going to be one of those archaic terms, right?
Well, okay, question then, Brie. Why do you think they even changed UFO to UAP in the first place? I know it was...
Because UFO could when it's an object, I guess you think of it more as a solid object, like a vessel. Whereas a UAP could be aerial phenomenon, it could be light, it could be a mist, it could be,
phenomenon. Yeah. Well, and they changed it from aerial because... they were finding, as they said, all these UFOs underwater these days. They changed it to anomalous. Very interesting. I think they were just trying to destigmatize it.
Yeah. So now it's unidentified anomalous phenomena. Yeah, UAP, right. Where it was unidentified aerial phenomena. But depending on which circles you operate in, you might hear it used both ways. You'll still hear some people use UFO too, especially some of the old timers.
Well, and even the word, the term alien. I know Luis Elizondo is very adamant that it's non-human intelligence, not aliens. I think they're just trying to get away from that, like X-Files type mentality. Like, no, this is a real thing, people. We're changing the name to make you believe it a little bit more.
Yeah, so Greer founded the Center for the Study of Extraterrestrial Intelligence, CSETI, in 1990 to create a diplomatic and research-based initiative to contract extraterrestrial civilizations. The group defined...
Oh.
Yeah, defines...
So he started in 1990. That was before the 2000, was it 2001 that they came out with that big press conference?
Yeah, the project
where everyone started talking about it a little bit more at that point, and that's when Dr. Greer started all of his
but he was...
I don't know, I'm just talking out loud.
He was doing stuff before that too, though. I mean, like he had his encounter in the 80s sometime, so he was like working it like in the woo circles more so than in the actual like dignified ufologist sector, which actually, where there's actually people trying to figure out what the heck's going on with this phenomena, which he does cross over with now. And I don't deny that there's some kind of phenomena that people experience. I've experienced stuff myself that I'm not sure I have a good explanation for, but I usually don't go to channeling alien civilizations, right?
Yeah, well, I think people just steer towards what they're interested in. It's kind of like, hey, if you believe in Jesus, you'll see Jesus in the clouds. Hey, if you're a Hindu that worships Ganesh, you're going to see Ganesh in the clouds. You'll see Mother Mary if you're a Catholic. You see what you're interested in and what you believe in. So if something doesn't make sense, you're going to fill that gap.
Now, here's the biggest problem I have with Greer. I mean, because I don't mind anybody like peddling woo, but he was on Larry King in 1994, right? And he's like, oh, well, he was big back in the 90s or whatever. No, he was on the PBD podcast like 2 months ago. So he's just never stopped being relevant in the UFO community, and his style of ufology is, I think, pretty toxic, right? I mean, it's like, you think you're talking to aliens? Maybe you are. It's really given into new age womb channeling and meditating. He talks a lot about channeling, but you know what? Without further ado, let's just get right into the videos. The first thing I want to do is go ahead.
Did we want to mention the fact that maybe people haven't heard about this experience he had back when he was 16? Now that he's not claiming that he was abducted by aliens, right? He's just saying that somehow they spoke to him telepathically. Is that, sorry, it's been a while since I've actually seen.
Let me see here, because there's one of these videos here where he goes into that. Let me see if I can see what number it is, because they're all numbered, but he doesn't. It's like he's not telling his origin story at the very beginning. He's talking about a whole bunch of other stuff. He talks about Cash Patel and Trump and whistleblowers and all this wild stuff about his alleged involvement with the government, right? And then he's like, "Oh, I can't say any more about it." You know what? There's a better way to do this.
Of course he can't. Of course he can't. Yes.
There's a better way for me to pull this up. Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good.
Oh. That's not what I wanted. We're going to do... view full playlist. Okay. Now I can see the names of them, and we can do... Okay.
I was just curious if that was like his only experience in his life, was when he was young.
He claims to channel them and communicate with them.
On a regular basis. Nice.
Yeah. So here's what we have.
Questions.
This is what we have for the options for everybody out there too. So I'll go through these real quick. There's 20 of them, so hang on to your butts. On meeting Trump's task force and declassifying UFO data, new FBI Director Kash Patel, Fed disinformation, Independence Day based on government plans to take over the world. So yeah, the movie Independence Day, that's hilarious. We got whistleblowers, we got government training in UFO facilities. There's your guy Luis.
There's Luis.
They are rivals in the UFO community.
that was going to be my next question. I'm like, they're not seriously working together, are they? Because Luis Elizondo has become very popular in this space now. Like, he's kind of making Dr. Greer more irrelevant, if anything. At least I think so.
So
my boy Casper said,
look at this.
Oh, 69 what?
69 alien species.
Okay. Is that how many there are total?
I don't know how many they are, but they're from 1 foot tall to 40 foot tall, so you get to pick your size too. So.
40 fucking feet tall. I'd be curious about this one. I mean, maybe ask your viewers. What do you guys want to watch?
Let's see. Denies taking drugs. Yeah.
Yeah, we've been there.
A dumbass. Underwater UFOs. There's that. We got clean energy alien technology. Obviously, we need that. Created weapons with alien technology. Oh no, maybe we shouldn't watch that one.
Okay, JFK was assassinated because he planned to release UFO secrets.
Of course he did.
Dude. That's awesome.
Differences between extraterrestrial and interdimensional beings. So I guess we should clarify. We're just using our loosey-goosey skeptic language.
I keep thinking, we should go back to the beginning and get the basics, but like, there's no
right. I'm looking for a jumping off point here where he tells his origin story. I swear I saw it, but he may just stick it in somewhere into one of these videos. Let's just start from the top.
Sounds good.
Or do you want to do the 69 aliens?
Sure, maybe we ought to know what we're up against here.
Yeah,
with
let's
the
do
aliens.
our 69 species of aliens. Okay.
Sounds
different
good.
star systems.
Okay. There we go.
Okay.
All right. Vlad TV's who we're
Well, you
watching.
said there's 69 different types of extraterrestrials.
Well,
that
that
you're
they
aware
knew of in 1960s. There may be many more now.
Okay, and are these aliens from different planets, or?
Yes, I'm quite sure they would be from different star systems because of the diversity of the biological.
So they're not interdimensional, because we'll have to figure out the difference between interdimensional and yeah.
I read one. Okay, you've heard of? Oh, I'm sorry. You've heard of the Nordic people, then?
Yes,
Bree?
I did a video on them a few weeks back. Yes.
Yeah, I heard that the aliens are actually the ones that report to the Nordics.
Well,
they're just their messengers. Aliens are just the messengers.
That's the boss. Yeah, the boss is a blonde-haired, blue-eyed, 7 foot tall person.
Right.
Size. I mean, some are 1.5 feet tall. Some report to be 10, 12 feet tall.
Wait.
You know,
I feel lied to. I was promised 40 feet tall. That's what the title says. We've been deceived.
Yeah, they got us excited for nothing. Wait, 10 feet tall weren't the Miami Mall?
Yeah.
The aliens 10 feet tall?
Of course, yes.
We can't forget about those dudes. Maybe they were interdimensional because they are the ones that all of a sudden
came through portals and stuff, yeah.
Yeah, they came through portals.
Mm-hmm. And they were black, like in black. Well, you couldn't really look at them though, could you?
I don't know, but conveniently everyone's phone didn't work at the time, so no one could record it.
Go figure.
They're all bipedal, 2 arms, 2 legs, had sort of that form, but then a huge amount of variation within that form. And this would.
So it's like Star Wars or Star Trek. They all look like people. They all have 2 arms and 2 legs, and because that's the perfect form, don't you know? You can't be more perfect than a human, especially because humans are built to be efficient, and specifically at this level of gravity, at this distance from the sun. All the stuff about us is built for that. How is that going to be the most efficient on some other world with other gravitational pressures, solar pressures, and God knows what else?
And no thumbs.
And
no thumbs.
Maybe tentacles. I wouldn't mind having some tentacles.
Tentacle porn.
This would explain why some of those craft are very, very tiny and some very large. I mean, if you're a 2 foot,
like penis.
3 foot.
Let me know if the audio is okay out there in the live chat, because sometimes it sounds different to me in here than it does
Right.
to y'all out there. So if I'm too quiet or not loud enough, let me know. Am I louder now?
You sound good, and I can hear the video just fine.
Okay. Cool. All right. So
Yeah, what species do they prefer sexually? Stephanie Holmes asks. Yep.
well,
Very good question.
the species with the best tentacles, I guess. I mean,
Apparently they come down and have sex with both, or all genders. Excuse me. So,
well, they could have been like the Nephilim are from aliens, actually, and angels were aliens.
or maybe they are the Nephilim.
Ooh.
3-foot tall being, a 25, 30-foot diameter egg-shaped craft is kind of spacious, right? It's like us being in something 60 feet, proportionally.
What are the size differences? I mean, are there like insect-sized aliens and giant,
Insect size.
I don't know, like whale-sized aliens? I mean, what's the range? Because it could technically be anything, right? I mean, because
yes.
like in our case, you talked about this in some of your interviews. Humans.
I want to know more about the insect-sized ones because those would be like.
That'd be cute. Aw. What if some of them are aliens we just don't know? Like some of those wacky beetles I saw in my garden today. They were all kinds of crazy colors.
Yeah. All right. Hey, and people keep popping in. Hey, Sumami, Sandy.
Hey.
Hello. And yeah, Steph, of course. Hello, my love.
Aw.
Yeah, but I think did I see Ryan in here a minute ago?
Yeah, Ryan popped in. And sorry, I can't see it on
Yeah.
the screen, just my
Anyway,
phone here.
welcome. Thank you for joining us. We're talking about UFO conspiracy peddler Stephen Greer, who pretty much gave up being a medical professional to grift about UFO conspiracies instead. So,
Oh my God, Mr. Greer looks like an alien of the turtle kind. This is so great. He's been doing this for far too long. He needs to retire.
he's like 70. So yeah.
Yes.
It's evolved from monkeys,
Yeah.
right? And monkeys are warlike.
Yeah.
They kill each other.
Right.
They fight.
War monkeys. Not all monkeys are warlike. I think it's maybe just thinking about chimpanzees, but for every chimpanzee, there's a bonobo.
Nice and the troops.
and so forth. But if you had a species that evolved from, let's say, dolphins or something like that aren't warlike,
Right.
this might be.
I have bad news for this guy interviewing him about dolphins.
Yeah.
Really, really bad news. They don't just like go to declare war on other species. They essay them gang style. And they'll do that to humans too. So kind of be happy that
I saw that in India once with a bunch of frogs. It was really sad. Nature can be brutal. Like all these male frogs on top of one female, and like we tried to like get them all off of her. We're like, okay, well, hopefully she can fend them off. And then we took our walk, and then we came back, and she had been strangled to death.
oh
It's
no,
really sad. Really sad.
that is sad.
Be an alien species that don't kill each other, and they don't understand why humans are killing each other all the time.
They don't. They understand it. They just think that it's a shame we haven't evolved past it.
Right.
I'm with them on that. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but why couldn't they help us out then if they're so
Yeah.
worried about it? Obviously, their technology far exceeds ours.
I
so they
would
could use
welcome
something to
their
help.
intervention at this point in my life as a marginalized person. It'd be great for let's at least let them present their platform before we reject them whole cloth. I think we have the right to know. But I'll bend the knee if they have something better for me than what our human leadership has.
Word.
So, in terms of the alien species that you're familiar with, what's the range? Are they all like little gray men, or are they
No.
just completely different?
Oh no, they're totally different. And most of the ones that you see on the spooky covers of books, and well, at least those are ours. Those are our robotic fake aliens. Those are the CIA drones.
Of course, CIA
and
drones.
robotic objects. And
Damn, Nancy, were you so gullible to think that's what aliens looked like? Those are CIA drones.
You talking about the ones in New Jersey recently that like got overshadowed with the California fires, and then we never heard about them again? Is that what that was?
We did hear about them again. It was so Trump ran on that, right? Like, I'm going to expose the drones in New Jersey and all this, right? And then once he got back into office, we found out that it was testing for commercial drones on government contracts by government contracted agencies that were classified. So he went from being the person who said he'd overturn it to being the person keeping it classified, and he released it. He had to release it after saying he would, but well, I mean, he wouldn't have to release it. He didn't release the Epstein files after saying he would. But I wonder
why.
I don't want to get into that. Let's not derail. If we want to talk about Trump, Greer talks about Trump.
I know, and sorry, I even derailed before the show here too.
It's okay.
Like,
it's a politically charged time in our country.
I know.
So I'm with you, baby girl. Yeah.
Sending some love to everyone. These are tough times to be alive.
Let's get lost in some alien nonsense.
The really sophisticated ones are actually bio-nano machines where they have biological material, and that's what they were using.
Well, now
the culture material from the cattle.
Think about the possibilities, Nancy.
The things you could make out of it,
right?
And animal mutilations was being used to make those very sophisticated fake aliens. And there's a physicist.
Wouldn't have to fake anything with that.
Worked on those programs.
A physicist made those with animal parts, apparently.
Which one?
And he swears he's not on drugs. There's a whole one of these videos dedicated to him swearing he's not on drugs.
Yeah. The whole video, he just says he's not on acid. No. I wasn't on acid when I was.
Oh, that's probably the one that has his origin story in it too. We'll watch that one next.
And it really sounds like Mingala or Stranger Things or something. But the strangest.
What was that?
No, I don't know if it's in this one. I don't know. Maybe he tells his origin story more than once. I feel like he said it in his other documentary, Unacknowledged, if you've seen that one. And maybe some other interviews, but
yeah,
he goes really in depth about his origin story. Yeah, I'd be curious to hear that again.
Strangest things are true, my friend. And so, in terms of my personal knowledge, I have heard of ones 1.5 feet or so tall to ones that range the upper end 30 to 40 feet tall.
Oh, there we go.
30 to 40 feet.
There's 30 to 40.
But
yeah, that's the big Amazon aliens. Those are the kaiju in the galaxy.
Or maybe those are the giants of the Bible, huh?
Oh,
and the titans.
now we're cooking. Yeah.
Those are the. Did he mention the red hair? Is it those?
But that's pretty rare, and depending on the planet and the gravitational and everything else. I mean, look, there are humans that have been 8 feet tall, and there are humans that have been 3 feet tall.
Yeah.
So I think about the cosmos.
Never 40.
And how vast. I mean, it would make sense to be.
No, not recently. Before the flood, though. I think what he's talking about, maybe.
Enormous diversity. And this brings to another question. I mean, you talk about war. And the only way Homo sapiens, humans, evolved past where we're stuck is, and people say, well, this sounds
What does this have to do with our 69 species of aliens? I wanted him to describe the aliens to us. He's like, no, I'm going to use this to bring some Greenpeace to you.
Spiritual discussion now.
I know.
Well, maybe
break them down for us.
Is that we have to find some foundation for
spiritual
our commonality, our oneness. And it can't be that we're just human, because now we have non-humans that we're dealing with. So what is that? I always tell people it's at that deep level of the pure level of quiet consciousness or spirit.
Spirit. It always comes back to spirit. Because you can hide that. Spirit is sleight of hand. It's a
what?
Scapegoat to say that's what caused it. It's a non-answer.
Spiritual is anything you want it to mean.
Right.
That they've done studies is actually a singularity. Ernst Schrödinger, the father of modern particle wave theory and quantum physics, in 1908 he said that the total number of minds in the universe is one. That is, it's a singularity.
That is the shit I was telling you about before we started. His when you were asking about his spirituality and stuff, he thinks that we're all the same life, living temporally independent at different points. Like we are all the same spirit, mind, and spirit, just born over and over and over again. Apparently, billions and billions of times, trillions of times. How many people have there been? And does that limit us to humans and sentient organisms? Was an Australopithecine included in this? Is it when we talk about these aliens, these other species of aliens from across the galaxies, right? Are they included in this? So what's the number? Just ballpark. Give me a figure.
Well, and where is he getting this from? Is he kind of talking along the lines of reincarnation a little bit?
Yes, yeah. Like we're the same individual born again, as time is not real. That's his idea. That's his reason for his explanation for the reason why the aliens can do faster than light travel too, because they exist outside of our temporal understanding of the way the world works.
I would like to hear this man try to explain this shit to like a 5-year-old. I think I would understand it better if he felt like he was talking to a 5-year-old.
So that's the foundation of the CE5 contact protocols, because not only is the consciousness field not limited by space or time, but also the understanding and experience of that, whether it's in a meditative state or even just intellectually understanding it, becomes the foundation of you looking into the eyes of a non-human extraterrestrial.
But you're just pretending you are. You're closing your eyes and like making it in your head. You're not actually seeing an extraterrestrial. That's the thing about CE5 contact, right?
Mm-hmm.
But these people will swear you shine a laser pointer at the sky and they flicker back at you.
Or a person on this planet who may be
oh my gosh, maybe I should do that for my birthday. My birthday is coming up. My birthday's actually Monday.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go out here and do some CE5 meditation on the patio at night with the laser pointer from the cat that we used to have.
Can you live stream it so the rest of us can join you? And
maybe
see what
I'll
happens?
do it on. I could do it on my phone, probably. Yeah. Might be something I do on Twitch too. I don't know. I've been thinking about getting into Twitch. It seems like it's more profitable.
Do it.
Right now,
maybe for your birthday, you should also go to that cave you've been wanting to go to, Bree. The one we had discussed last time when you were on our show for the cryptids. I forget the name of the what there was like apparently like giants.
A Lovelock Cave,
skeletons.
yeah.
Lovelock Cave, thank you.
Yeah.
Actually, that's Nevada, isn't it?
It's in Arizona, I thought. Lovelock, Arizona.
I thought it was
Or is it
Nevada.
Lovelock,
It might be
Nevada?
Arizona.
It might be Nevada.
Lovelock Cave. It's
Lovelock
one of
Cave,
the two.
yeah. Can't miss it.
a different
That
race
would
or
be
different
fun birthday
culture or
treat.
whatever, and seeing beyond the superficial and seeing right into the soul, or right into the conscious being that's in there.
What the
and
fuck is a
beyond
soul?
This sort of clear light of pure consciousness. Like when you go into the
A
deep
soul is, again, it's much like spirit. Maybe a soul is made out of spirit.
What
Is
is
it what-
spirit?
Is it what you're like? It reminds me of that scene. You remember Casper, the Christina Ricci, or not Christina Ricci? Yeah, Christina Ricci.
Yeah, it was
where he's
Christina
like-
Ricci.
where
Yeah.
he's like, I think that where Casper's like, she's like, "What are you made out of?" And he's like, "I think I'm made out of the stuff when your arm goes to sleep." Yeah, that's
That
soul.
tingling feeling. I
That's
think
soul,
I'm made
that's
of that.
spirit. Yeah.
Essence or something.
Yeah,
I don't
we're gonna
know.
go with that. We're gonna go with Casper's explanation.
That was a great movie back in the day. I loved
Yes.
it.
It's still a good movie. We watched it a couple
It's
weeks
pop.
ago.
It's pop culture. Every Halloween, I always watch Hocus Pocus without fail. I love
Yes, Hocus Pocus, and we watch Nightmare Before Christmas, and we watch Beetlejuice.
I watch all the shit I was never able to watch as a kid. Let me tell you.
I do love me some Hocus Pocus, though.
Mm-hmm. Dude, it's so good. Sisters? It's so fucking amazing. Sorry, I could quote that movie.
Oh my gosh, your Winifred was on point, though.
Oh, yeah.
Magnifique.
Yes. Oh, she's so
Deep
great.
meditative state,
Anyway.
kind of samadhi or whatever. Before I was a doctor, I was a meditation teacher, and so I really did a deep dive into that.
That sounds right. That sounds about right.
Did he just say meditative doctor?
Meditative teacher. Before he was a doctor. He said, before I was a doctor, I was a meditative teacher.
What is that? What?
Like, I don't know.
How do you learn meditation? There are actual teachers for that?
From a teacher. Listen, if you're
I didn't
going
know
to keep
that was
asking...
a thing. Huh?
I don't have an explanation. I'm sorry.
I know. I'm supposed to come to you for answers.
He's a charlatan, which is why he's on Charlatan's Web. He just says things. I don't know. A meditative teacher is whatever you want it to be, I guess. You know.
I know, and I stupidly think that I can get at least some semblance of an answer here. Yeah. But I'm more or less not asking you. I'm asking I wish I could ask him directly.
Yeah.
No, you didn't just answer my question just now. I asked you this. Don't just move on.
He just rolls right through it. Just makes these bold claims.
When I was 17, I had a near-death experience.
There we go.
And it really opened up that universe to me, because my family were atheists, and an infant test tube didn't exist. So but that near-death experience when I was 17 was where I experienced for a period of time when I was away the sort of the unbounded cosmic aspect of our own consciousness. It wasn't that I went somewhere. I realized that's what's within us. And so when you have that experience, then you realize that's why our motto is one universe, one people. So we don't view them as alien. I hate the word alien because it connotes foreignness.
Him and his archenemy Louise can agree on that. Then I guess they don't like the term alien. I think Demi Lovato, when she was his apprentice for a little bit, she was against the use of the term alien too. But
interesting.
Yeah, he's had a few musician proteges. Dude from Blink-182 was one of his proteges too. Yeah, and then Demi Lovato. I think that's the only ones I can think of right now. But there's been a lot of apprentices to his philosophy, because he's like a Hollywood guru. He's out in California.
Yeah.
They meet, and we mentioned when we were talking earlier before waiting for the show to start. I mentioned that the only place in California I'd been was Joshua Tree. That's where they do their CE3 or CE5 meditation. So for people who don't know what that is, it's CE5 is close encounter, and they're numbered. A close encounter, the first, second, third, fourth, and fifth kind. Like the first kind is seeing a UFO. The second time is like I can't even remember how they're ranked. Let me see. Here, I'm gonna pull it up for us real quick.
Yeah.
The rankings. Okay, so the first kind.
Fourth is abduction.
Yeah. Okay, so 6 levels are arranged according to increasing proximity here. It says, well, let me share this without, I guess not. So, yeah. Here's how they're kind of ranked. 1, nocturnal lights. 2, daylight discs. 3, UFO reports that have radar
Oh, yeah.
confirmations. 4 this is with the entity, and this is when you start to get into the CE category. So yes, this the 4th level encounter is CE1, close encounter of the first kind. Visual sighting of an unidentified flying object seemingly less than 500 feet away. And then you have the second kind, which is a UFO event, which a physical effect is alleged that can be inference in the functioning of a vehicle or electronic device, animals reacting, or physiological effects such as paralysis or heat and discomfort in the witness. So if you take your meds at the wrong time of day, you could also be, having those side effects. I know personally, because I've sat in my office plenty of times going like this because I took my meds at the wrong time of day. So, and then we got UFO encounters in which an animated entity is present. This is the third kind. These include humanoid robots and humans who seem to be occupants or pilots of a UFO. And then
Roswell.
like Nancy was saying, I almost called you Patty. Can you believe that?
Oh, you're fine. We get mixed up all the time.
I almost, like Nancy was saying, the 4th kind, because this only goes up to CE3.
Yeah.
The 4th kind is being abducted, right? And then the 5th kind is using your psychic powers to call the UFOs down to you and interact with the alien psychically. That's the 5th kind, which is what we're dealing with today. So that's where we step outside of the realm of like technology and physical evidence and into the world of, I had a spiritual experience, which I can't confirm with you. You'll have to experience it yourself, and if you don't experience it yourself, it's your fault because you're not a believer. If you just believed, you'd experience it, kind of deal. Let's get back to Greer, though. I still have you with me for a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, on that note too, as far as speaking telepathically, that's not the first time I've heard that. What was it, the Ariel School in South Africa? Was this in the 90s? Maybe it was more recent than that, early 2000s, where all the school children said that this big alien had come down in a spaceship and spoke to them telepathically. Do you know this story?
There's a few stories like that. I do think I'm familiar with that one, but there's a story with gnomes like that too, with school children saying they saw a gaggle of gnomes driving tiny cars. So it's like, school children do see a lot of. There we go. All right. So what do we want to do next? Here's a Blink 182's guy, Tom DeLonge. Right. We got our 69 species of aliens. The secret government has unlimited clean energy alien technology. What?
Ooh.
We got Elon Musk. We've got jellyfish aliens. Hold on. And this one covers the New Jersey drones too. So let's.
Oh, maybe we should. I like the jellyfish UFOs. Maybe we should do this.
Yes, jellyfish. Let's
jellyfish.
Roll. Woo! Jellyfish aliens for the win. Yeah.
Investigation Alien.
Never saw it. Never heard of it.
It was hosted by journalist George Knapp. And one of the big things in terms of the focus on the series was this jellyfish UFO video from Iraq. You know what I'm talking about? Now, I looked at this video. I did some searches online.
There it is.
What a lot of people are saying is it's actually just a bunch of balloons that are just flying through there based on a wind. And, someone who
you think they're balloons?
That's absolutely balloons.
Sometimes you see how they just sort of
them. I've seen that.
Yeah, at one point they get a little bit low, then they just sort of float around the room at eye level, and that's what it kind of looked like to me. Now, did you think that this was an actual jellyfish alien, or?
No, I didn't.
And I didn't either.
But again, I don't
know.
It looks like balloons to me. Looks like mylar balloons.
At first, it looked like just a smudge on the camera to me.
Yeah.
But I think it moves, right? Doesn't it go off, veer off somewhere?
Yeah, but I mean, the wind can cause things to go all over the place. I don't know.
I don't know. There's all kinds of weird shit in the sky. I
Yeah.
don't know for sure.
Yeah. Let's see if we can.
Fascinating.
I'm gonna watch it again. Let's watch it again. And see
Okay.
if we can- Come on. Go back. Back. There we go. We'll go this.
Hey, what's
You know
that
what I'm talking
Bigfoot
about?
doing in the background?
Ooh.
There's
see it.
Bigfoot.
Yeah.
That's just the distraction. We were supposed to see
Yeah.
Bigfoot
You're
back
supposed to
there.
be like watching for Bigfoot.
I don't know. It's sort of a weird. Okay, so it's kind of floating.
And it looks like it might have like streamers hanging down from it. To me, I think it's like a Mylar weather balloon. Because have you ever seen a Mylar weather balloon?
No. Let me look it up.
I'm gonna pull one up.
Oh, thank you.
Or
Marla.
I'll just pull up a bunch of images because there's a few different styles of them that are different. Let me see. So
Is that the same weather balloon that was at Roswell?
well, that weather balloon. That's the funny thing about Roswell. They don't talk about how among the wreckage there was a lot of wood and paper. That's what spaceships are famously made of, wood and paper. But there's all sorts of different sizes of weather balloons, and different
Mylar.
models.
I've never.
Yeah, but I think what we were looking at there was something similar to this one.
Okay.
Like
one of those types of balloons.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
Maybe with something tangled in it even. Because that will happen. But I mean, obviously, anybody who wants to dispute that with me in the comments, you bring it on. I'm here for it. I love to argue with people in my comments. So,
but I definitely like to hear your take on things too, Brie. Because I was looking at even the Montauk monster. Like, what the fuck is that thing? Yeah, it did kind of look like a raccoon, but then you just verified it for me. Like, yeah, it's a fucking raccoon that's kind of.
Its face is decayed. So
mutated.
Actually, its face has probably been eaten by sea life. Is probably what's happened to its face. But it looks like a pug.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah. So that's my thoughts on this.
It's actually just a bunch of balloons that are just flying through there based on a wind. And as someone who has helium balloons in my house, sometimes you see how they just sort of
them. I've seen that.
Yeah, at one point they get a little bit low, then they just sort of float around the room at eye level, and that's what it kind of looked like to me. Now, did you think that this was an actual jellyfish alien, or
no, I didn't? And
okay, I didn't either.
But again, I don't have. I'm not involved with that. I have.
And by the way, it's 101 degrees right now in El Paso, Texas. If anybody's interested in knowing that, 101. Whew.
I'm 90 with humidity though.
Yeah. Yeah, not a lot of humidity
I will
here.
take less.
I'm not even sure what our humidity levels are right now. Oh, look. I'll let Steve.
Provenance of its origin. It's not something I've really looked into. I try to avoid the things that are in the pop culture. I hate to say it. So you probably know a lot more about all that than I ever will, and I'm too busy to sit and look at pablum that comes out on.
Yeah, we only have 14% humidity. Don't you know he's meeting with Trump and stuff? Don't you know? He's got presidential shit to do.
Wait, let me get this straight. He said it's not a jellyfish alien, but yet he doesn't know what it is.
Right. He just
okay.
He's just farting out of his mouth.
Whatever. So I'm just being honest. I really don't. A lot of what you might ask about, I have no knowledge of. I don't have time for it. And it's usually such
fucking shade. It's like, why'd you even ask me here? Why are you asking me questions? You're acting like this is some kind of interview or something.
I'm too important. I don't know the answer, and therefore, I don't have the time.
Only ask what kind of handsome cream I use.
nonsense that I just 30 seconds in I turn it off. But so I just
That's what you are, sir. You are the 30 seconds of nonsense most people turn off. I stick around because I love torturing myself with your BS and making my friends come and watch too. You're welcome.
It is Charlatan's Web. Yay! Second episode.
just don't know. I mean,
Okay.
But I don't have I don't have anyone in the intelligence and military or aerospace contracting world that's brought that up to me as something of interest.
Yeah.
So that's all I can say.
No Iraqi jellyfish aliens? What if the Iraqi military is making an allegiance with the alien jellyfish to take over the world, like a comic book villain? And Greer,
I'm sorry.
and Greer is being given the evidence right now, and he's just turning his nose up to it like a UFO snob. I'm here to see the Turtle Man warm his blood on those sick drums. I don't think that's going to happen in Trippy Fan. I'm sorry. I don't think anybody's going to play those drums.
He doesn't have an answer, and therefore he doesn't have the time. He's too important of a person to worry about those basics. The jellyfish alien, that's just going back to the basics, right?
Yes. Jellyfish aliens.
Yeah, pop culture.
They can come and squeeze my boobies.
You can squeeze my boobie, Brie.
You got a jellyfish boobie.
My
Jellyfish alien boobie.
It's full of, it's a water alien this time. Hear it? Oh, there might be jelly in there. Here's my jellyfish alien. Yay. Oh, I should get one of these in an alien, a squish boob.
Yeah. I do
Alien head.
I have alien head vodka back here. Have you seen that before?
I have not.
Let me show you. I got
All right, let's see it.
I like to show this off. There's a silver one too, but the original one's my favorite. It's got this green glass tint.
Oh my god, that's vodka?
Yeah. And then,
Nice.
I also have for my mornings. got a
Oh
little
my
alien
god,
coffee cup,
adorable.
and it's got a bowl to smoke out of.
Nice. I
So-
need more alien memorabilia
Yes.
around here.
And this came with shot glasses too.
Have you been to Roswell yet, Brie?
No, and it's like right around the corner from here too. I wanted to go to UFO Days, which ended on the 6th, so just like 5 days ago. But I couldn't find anybody who wanted to go.
That's when the
So-
Ark Encounter protest was.
Yeah.
Oh, you should go. You'll love it. It's like a scavenger hunt all around town where you can go find the little aliens. Even the McDonald's is shaped like a spaceship. It's
I wanted
so
to
amazing.
go so bad. I did pull some clips from it actually. That's something I can probably share. Hold on.
Sure. Sorry, I keep steering you off course here, right?
No, it's fine.
Patty and I do the same thing when we're done listening to charlatans, right?
Yeah, that does tend to happen once you get
It's to a certain point.
right.
I love where you paused him, by the way.
He's making the turtle face. Everybody wants to see him be a turtle. There you go. That's your turtle. Yeah. Here we go. This is kind of long, but I'll play it.
Oh wow, look at that!
Oh, no, not. Ooh.
Stay there, stay there.
Oh, that's not the right one. Hold on.
It's cool though.
It is cool.
Yeah.
We are not alone. They are among us. As the skies light up, they believe we are blissfully unaware. But this activity by non-human extraterrestrial technology is capturing the attention of humans.
You said you would dance tonight. Oh, it's such a cool city.
Yeah. They go all out. Look at this. The drone show. I guess it's supposed to be the best drone show in the country.
Oh, wow. Oh, that was.
Hello, Earthly. Oh, there you go.
You can't not with techno music, right?
All right, that was fun.
That was fun. Oh my gosh. I'm glad I steered you off course a little bit. Thank you. Roswell.
Roswell,
That
that
was
was
great.
most of that was from this last one, but I threw in a couple clips from the one from a couple of years ago because I liked the drones better at that one. I love their drone show. That's what I really wanted to go, and you had to go on July 3rd to see that. And I thought it was July 4th, so if I would have went on July 4th, I would have missed it anyway. But
So it's always July 6th every year?
it's
that festival is?
it's that week. It's that week every year.
Okay.
Because that's when they happen. That's when the ship crashed allegedly. Yeah. Back to your favorite
Right around
turtle.
Oh. All right. On that fun little break, we're back to this. Here we go.
All right. I can't believe we only got through 2 of these, or only got through 1 and like a third of these so far. There's 20 some of them, so we're not getting through all these. We'll have to revisit Dr. Greer again sometime in the future and really
Sounds
crack
good.
things open. But
I'm on your time, honey, until Dr. Ben's trivia. I'm good.
well, we still have another hour to get through. It's just funny that we've gotten through so little in the first hour of the show, but we've had a lot of fun, and I'm I'm really enjoying this. This series is. Oh, and look at that! My Unfinished Journey has dropped a super chat. Yay! My super chats are working. Aliens are real because 50 zillion tourists. Can't be wrong. I see. That's the thing too. I don't believe that aliens are real, but I would go to Roswell and be like doe-eyed and running around like a little girl, all excited and giddy about everything. I would. Maybe going during when there's not the festival going on would be even probably not be better, but it would be enjoyable just as well. And I know there's like souvenir shops and stuff. And I'd be shopping.
Well, is it the International Museum or something it's called? International UFO Station is there. That was a really cool place. They have all kinds of exhibits and arts that people have created about aliens. It's really nice.
There we go.
Yeah.
If you ever go to Jason from Dragons and Genesis podcast says, if you ever go to Roswell, you have to hit up the Rocket Museum. It's built on the warehouse where some of the earliest rockets were made. Interesting. So when I came down
That's
here,
really cool. Thank you.
when I moved down here from Illinois, I drove through Alamogordo in White Sands, and that's where they did all the early rocket testing and all the space monkeys and stuff. Yep. I love space monkeys. They're my favorite. Of all the
Yes,
of
you
all
might.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. I'm sorry, I keep talking over you.
of all the animals that got sent into space, yeah, the monkeys are the most. The story about their journeys are the most interesting. My opinion.
You might as well see that while you're there too.
Hey, Ember. Sorry to step on you. I didn't realize you were going to be streaming tonight too, babe. But yeah,
Oh,
glad to see you working. Women be shopping. Yes, I be shopping. I had a problem shopping yesterday. I bought this dress. and it's super cute.
It is cute. You're gonna have a great night tonight.
I hope so. Yeah, I got a date after this later on tonight. Just meeting someone for some drinks. So we'll see how that goes.
Yes. Keep
All
us
right.
posted.
Yes. Okay. We moved past the jellyfish alien. Now he's gonna start. He's talked about how important he is and how silly actual footage of literal alien jellyfish swarming down from space are to his bigger. He's got bigger fish to fry. He's the presidential advisor on UFOs.
Yeah, he actually talks
What about
to
the
them.
whole New Jersey drone?
Oh, here we go.
All the
Situation.
drones is another story. Those were false flag operations designed to get people all riled up, like the War of the Worlds in New Jersey in the 30s. What is it, Orson Welles or somebody? Where,
What?
but the White House did make a mistake in saying that all of those were test objects that were known by FAA. I mean, I was on a.
Well, we knew
news
they were
program
FAA
with
from the fucking
lieutenant.
lights on them.
They had the FFA compliant lights flashing, right?
I know. Like, of course they're fucking ours. Unless aliens are FAA compliant.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that'd be very friendly of them to be FFA compliant. Yeah.
Aw. They're playing by our rules. How sweet of you.
Considerate. Hello, Dr. Kip.
Hi, Dr. Kid.
Lieutenant General who said that's absolutely not the case. And
You notice that some of my chat, like maybe 10% of my chat, is filled with doctors. Just want people to stick that in their pipe and smoke it, right? You know.
Well, they want to come see the world's leading cryptozoologist. It makes sense.
Yeah. I should just put a doctor in front of my name to annoy all of them. Dr. Bree McKeown, Doctor of Cryptozoology.
Doctor of Cryptozoology.
Be like Kent Hovind. Get my cryptozoology degree on the wall behind me. And be like, listen here, I'm a doctor too.
Pseudoscience extraordinaire.
Right?
the people I know who under contract for one of the aerospace companies went out there to investigate them concluded what I did, and that it was some type of testing of media and public reaction as sort of a false flag to see what people would say and do and see what kind of rumors could be spun off from it. So oftentimes they'll do sort of a trial balloon of this false alien invasion stuff. But
it was a false flag, a government false flag, don't you know? By the White House, by Biden's White House, by Trump's White House, because it was in that transition period, right, when this was happening, when Trump had won the election, but Biden was still in office.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, Trump said that he was going to, part of what he ran on was that he was going to uncover the truth behind the drones.
I remember when all the news channels came out and said, "Oh, the government said we don't know what they are, but we just know they're not a threat to national security. We know that, but we just don't know."
Yeah, it was a big freaking deal, and the reporters and stuff got so mad about it. It's like, obviously they're trying to tell you without telling you that this is test drones that they can't tell you about. And
they were like flying over people's fucking houses, so people were shooting at them.
But they're trying to tell you that, hey, they're not dangerous, but we can't tell you what they are right now. That was what they were trying to say, and
they did say,
yeah. I mean, without so many words, right?
Yeah.
But 100% of that was, even the things that look like orbs
100%.
and stuff, those were ours. That's all ours. And it was a false flag operation. What I understand that is that when you had, let's unpack this a little further, between about a year ago and November, the plan was for a high-level group of whistleblowers that included Jake and some of his folks, were not going to come out publicly. They were simply going to take all the hard evidence they had, hand it over. We were going to put it out on a blockchain system, and it would come out, right? And
so, you know, all this stuff that he talks about that happens behind the scenes, right? That he's involved in, and it's never anybody else talking about his involvement, just him. You'll never hear like, you know, the White House being like, well, we had Dr. Stephen Greer come by and examine the footage that we've received of this phenomenon. Yeah, it's never that. It's always like, I was invited to the White House to do this. I was invited to the Pentagon to review that. He just makes these hollow claims. Oh, goodness. And Jester, thank you so much. Jester has been a member for 7 months.
Woo!
Yeah, they granted me, I think Jester's a he, but if I was wrong, correct me. Granted you, they granted me a doctorate from the Jesters Academy. So I'm going to have like a whole wall.
And it was explained that would be too catastrophic because it would be so explosive. And so they decided to do this slower, controlled process and wait, but also to unmask themselves, right, where they would come forward publicly, which changes OPSEC's
Any day.
operational security.
Yeah, it's just like when Jesus comes back, right? Any day now.
Just 4 more years.
Yeah.
Great tribulation. Or 3 more years. 3 more years.
Jesus will be like, look, I was going to come back on this date, but this prophet was like trying to like call me out on it. So now I'm not going to come. I'm not going to show up that day. Push it back.
We had to reschedule.
And let me clarify that humans will never be ready for alien intervention. We just never will. It's if there's aliens out there, if there's intelligent life out there, they're just gonna have to rip the Band-Aid off because we're just monkeys. We are just monkeys that figured out how to make fire and kind of it spiraled from there. Really, because we learned how to control that heat. We were a problem. So if you're gonna come visit us, now's as good a time as any. We're just going to keep making the fires bigger until we burn up the whole planet. So sooner the better, please come intervene.
Yeah, finish up your experiment sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
Leave the cow's ears alone.
Yeah, we're ready for you. Oz has a double fake PhD. Why not Dr. Bree? Yeah, that'll be my opening rap. Maybe I'll be like a Dr. Dre and be a rapper, and that way I can be a doctor. Because Dr. DJ Ozzy Oz gets to be a doctor.
Security completely. Because now you're identified. You are identified, right, as an individual. And you, therefore, are at risk.
You don't say.
So it changed the whole plans. But when it was going to be, and when these drones, even all the way until shortly before the inauguration, we thought there was going to be a dump, a big release of enormous amount.
He's making taking a dump sound really good. A big release.
I heard that too.
An enormous amount. Ah, what a relief.
The biggest dump
you've ever seen. Proof and evidence, and that didn't happen.
Was that your Trump? Oh my gosh.
I was the best pooper ever. I don't know.
No, your Trump is good. That was a good Trump.
I know.
And so when that was still in the planning and discussion.
Oh, you're so cute. Look at you hiding behind your stuffy. I want to blow you up on main screen if you keep looking so cute. Look at that.
He's cute.
Discussion, they launched anticipatory to that. All these drones and orbs and what have you.
All right, Steven, I'm done listening to you ramble about this.
Everything.
Let's pick another one.
Oh, we were just getting to the climax.
Oh, okay. I'll go back in. Go back in.
Never heard of it.
It was hosted by
planned that ended up not coming to fruition.
I want to see all this evidence that Dr.
These
Greer
guys would come out
always
publicly
talks about. Come on.
rather than stay clandestine and masked but just let the evidence out. So I think the thinking in that group was that this needs to be a more controlled release with executive orders and congressional actions providing a pathway. And there are some very senior people. There's a chairman of
controlled release of your massive dump.
A major corporation, household name in America, who's reached out to me, who has documents, all this evidence, and As soon as he reached out to me, he had his family threatened, his grandchildren and children. And right now, if he were to come forward, his concern, aside from perhaps having all his wealth confiscated under RICO, racketeering influence organization.
I'm sorry.
No, you good?
Do you think he realized too late that he should not have tucked in his shirt for this interview? Or...
I think he's probably very proud of his physique in this interview. I don't know.
I mean, it's all good, but I would have been so self-conscious.
Yeah.
Like, like, can you put the camera here?
just inch it up just a little bit. The problem is this crease right here. This crease right here. If he could just pull that out just a little bit, just give it a little tug. I mean, I want to have cleavage. You don't, Steve.
Yeah. It's always cleavage up when recording. Tits up, baby.
Organization Act, which is like what you use against the mafia. Because this organization running this is like the world's largest mafia, organized crime network.
Which one? Which organization?
So,
the U.S. government, I'm thinking.
Whoever's in charge, right?
Yeah.
The Vanderbilts. The Rockefellers.
So,
Oh, Rockefellers, yeah. It's going to be the Carnegies.
Yep. One
he
of those
can't come out
families.
because the Congress never got amnesty through. It was killed about a year ago in December of 2023. And so far, look, the president's only been there a month, but there's not been any executive orders that explicitly would give a pathway both for personal protection.
And if there was going to be executive orders, they would have been released by now. He was just doing them, like the whole time, his first weeks in office, just constant, nonstop executive orders.
Mm-hmm. This is what they do, though. They always say, "Oh, it's in the government's hands. It's in the government's hands," because all these people want to come out and speak about their experiences with the alien technology and reverse engineering, but we're just too afraid to speak out about it because my friends and family keep getting assassinated.
What are you gonna do?
Like marshals or
show evidence.
Legal protection, which would be like immunization or amnesty or safe harbor. So that's really what needs to happen for us to get the most important material out and also to get these people secured. But I think there's something that we can do besides that. And if you want to hear about it, a little spooky, but interesting.
Apparently he didn't want to hear about it because he ended it right there. Maybe this is going to pick up right where it starts off, though, because he's going to talk about Elon Musk. What?
Yeah, let's watch some Elon Musk.
Well, Elon Musk, Trump's new best friend.
I don't know him.
He's consistently said that he's never seen any
sailed.
signs of aliens or UFOs.
Bro act like he was talking like, hey, do you know Elon Musk personally? It's like he's just saying, no, Elon Musk said this. Elon Musk said that, but Greer's
He's
like,
an interesting man, isn't he?
Yeah.
And this is someone who regularly launches ships into space.
Well, it's not like he's on board those ships.
No.
And look, it's not as if every airline pilot has seen these, but there are many who have. There's one sitting in our room right here, all right? Captain of a major airline.
Wait. Hold on. So this person sitting next to us has seen what?
These UFOs while he's been flying his jets for a major airline.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you willing to jump in at some point and talk about it? Can we?
It's totally up to him. But
okay.
But,
hold on. Are you willing to talk about it? Sure. All right. Well, we'll bring you in a little bit. Okay.
Look, I don't hang with just every idiot. Right?
Yeah.
I mean,
No, you're
Just
too.
me.
You're
people
too
that just sort of
busy and
hang in my
important.
orbit are going to be folks like that. You know.
Of course, not just any idiot. Only the best idiots should apply.
I only hang with people that have seen an alien, yo. UFOs. You're in a special club now. Like,
Yes.
where are these UFO? Like looking through a telescope. Why can't we get like a close up of this shit? You know?
Yeah, they're so common, right? This guy sees them all
There's
the time. He knows how to call them down. Why can't he call them down and just have a cell phone out and be like, yep, there they are.
If he
Seems
speaks to them directly, yeah. Help us out.
Like, hey, come down here and show yourself on camera so my people don't think I'm crazy anymore.
You know, that's right.
Okay, got it. Okay, so we'll get to that. So go on.
Where was I?
Elon Musk.
Yeah, so it doesn't mean that, you know, he would have been read onto this or read into it. Now, whether he really has no knowledge of this or he has information and has been told not to go there, I don't know. I think what I would recommend to Mr. Musk is you should not comment on things you don't know anything about.
Well, I'm sure Musk is just riveted by... That's some shade, right?
I know, but Musk just said that, he didn't see any. Because he probably hasn't seen any.
Yeah.
What's the problem? Anyone can comment and say, I've never come across evidence for gods or deities. I can say that because I haven't.
I've never seen an alien. Yes, this
I've
guy
never
is
seen an alien.
on Gaia Videos, Dr. Kip. Absolutely. Dr. Stephen Greer.
He comes off a little arrogant,
And
doesn't
if you
he?
do know,
Right, he's like, you don't know what you're talking about, Elon Musk. He doesn't know what he's talking about, his own personal experience, to say, I haven't experienced this. And I'm the last person who would defend Elon Musk. I don't like him one bit, but this is lower. Come down off your high horse, I guess is the term I'm looking for.
It sounds kind of like a comment that Patty and I had gotten over on our channel, Apostate Sisters, where I was doing a back and forth with the guy in the comments. I don't really do that anymore, but I had to engage this one. And I was like, well, I mean, what's there to figure out? I don't believe in any gods or deities or anything. He's like, that means nothing. Like, what do you mean that means nothing? That means I don't believe in this shit. What do you mean it means nothing?
That's kind of the end-all, be-all of the conversation, right? If you want me to believe, convince me. Burden of proof's on you, pal.
But I think just about anybody is on board with the fact that, okay, if we don't believe in aliens, convince us. If we saw evidence, maybe we'll believe at that point, if it makes sense.
Show me some alien shit. Yeah.
Show us some alien shit. I want to see an alien if they exist. Come on.
Right. I want to see spaceships or pieces of spaceships. If you can show me something that looks like it's actually a piece of a spaceship, I will be like, hell yeah.
That technology that, what do they call that material that off Roswell? It was so light. It just like.
You can crumple it up and it go whoop right back to.
Yeah. I want to see that.
I want some of that. Make a whole costume out of it. But
I want some of that.
Yes, I have seen Alien, the movie, Ridley Scott's Alien, starring Sigourney Weaver, of course.
Yep.
If those kind of aliens exist, I'd rather they not come down here, though. I think that would be problematic for everybody involved.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to have a thing pop out of my chest. Just doesn't.
At least not that.
Yeah, well. We can discuss other things, but yeah, for now.
You know
absolutely,
about it.
Bree.
Never lie to the public. It's best to say, I really don't know, or deflect. So my advice,
which
Mr.
is
Musk
what he
listening,
said. He said, I haven't seen any. So, yep, did exactly what you're suggesting he do.
I doubt he is, but is that never make a false statement. And if you express an opinion, have it be an informed opinion. So I think that is what is important to do. Because otherwise, people are going to be suspicious. When all this comes out, those comments by all kinds.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, when all this comes
out. What an absolute jerk he's being. It is an informed opinion. Oh my God, climb out your own asshole, dude.
Yeah, it's like an informed opinion of his own lived experience, dude. You cannot question that. There's just it's not something that can be, someone says, I've never seen this before. You can't be like, well, you need to not stop saying that you've not seen this before, because when it all comes out that it exists and you say you haven't seen it, you're going to be suspicious.
And then he'll change his opinion because he's then seen it. See how that works?
Yeah, potentially. I don't know if Musk would change his opinion or not. He's not famous for that or anything, but he's famous for programming Nazi AI, though. Ooh, I shouldn't say that live. But...
Oh, just
should
that
not,
one word.
Should not drop that N word. Now my video is going to have a little disclaimer underneath it talking about the Third Reich and they have an alien connection too, you know. I need to cover that too, not the Nazi alien connection at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hitler was obsessed with them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, can I say Hitler too? I don't even know.
We've already dropped the N-bomb. And not that N-bomb, gosh. Not that N-bomb. One with the Z in it.
Yeah.
Not that one with the Z in it. The other one with the Z in it. The one from the 40s.
Kinds of officials are going to come back to haunt them. It's like, well, did you not know? In which case, what kind of researcher are you? Or you did know and you were lying to the public. Neither are very good outcomes. So what I'm recommending to people who are in official positions, in public positions, is either say nothing or speak the truth. But don't say something that is based on you're not knowing something.
Based on your own lived experience to say, well, I've never seen that.
Based on your own not knowing something.
And how many times has he said, I don't know anything about that. I don't know that. I don't know anything about that through this interview that we've watched so far. We've only watched like maybe 12 minutes total of this guy. And he said that like a dozen times. Oh, I don't know. I don't have any experience with that. He needs to stop doing that. He needs to stop saying that he doesn't know anything about the jellyfish alien when the
and then he talks about the jellyfish alien.
Yeah, when the truth comes out about the jellyfish alien, people are going to be like, Steven, were you lying? Or are you just not a good researcher?
Now, I wouldn't mind if someone does a qualifier and says, I haven't looked into this, but to my knowledge, I don't know anything about it. Or whatever. Because that's fair game, right? And that's an appropriate response.
Someone from NASA said the same thing, but they just flat out said, no, UFOs, aliens don't exist.
Right.
So, is he going to say it's the same thing about NASA?
Yes. Jellyfish, says Ember.
Jellyfish. Jelly.
Yes.
Jelly.
Yes.
Jelly.
Do you want to go jellyfishing down by the Goo Lagoon with me?
Yes.
Response. I answer questions like that all the time. Like you just asked me about this jellyfish. Well, it's not my expertise. I haven't heard anything about it. And, you know, there's nothing wrong with saying I don't know.
Yeah.
Right? And as an emergency...
He did say you know.
You just said he couldn't say I don't know. He said, I don't know. I've never seen one. Oh, he just said I've never seen one, which is, the tantamount to
That's the same as saying I don't know.
I'm a guy. The worst doctors think they know everything, and they're the ones that are going to kill you. So I tell people, and the worst pilots are the ones that they think they know everything, and they don't listen to the co-pilot, and they crash right to the side of a mountain. So I think that a little bit of introspection and humility is needed.
Now, I will compare Elon Musk to a bad pilot, though. Or bad, he's like, he's crashed plenty of businesses into the sides of mountains so far. I mean... That's just a matter of public record. I'm not like throwing shade or anything, but you look at, the sale of Teslas, for instance, over the last 5 years, you'll see a significant drop when Elon decided to get more involved in the public light and, show it, as the British would say, show his fanny to the world.
Fanny flutters. That's
yes.
If you watch, Helen Green's channel, Free Thinker Farsight, John the Skeptic was on there. Was it just last night or the night prior? He said in Britain they use the term fanny flutters. Yeah, because fanny is, vulva.
Yes, yeah.
That's amazing. I didn't know that. So the fanny flutters. Impressive. Sorry, anyway.
No, let's go back and see.
Did we have time for another one?
We have time for one more, probably.
Okay. Let's make it a good one. Not that they haven't been
good. And we'll let the
so
audience
far.
pick. So you all pick.
Yay! What do we want?
You type in the number. They're all numbered here, right? So we'll go back through it. We got the Trump task force one, the Kash Patel. We've got Independence Day was real.
I vote number 1. I'd be curious to see what he says about Trump disclosing.
Let's do that one. Yeah, let's just do it. We'll do number 1.
Since we've been on a little Trump kick today.
Yes.
Back, famed researcher and retired emergency medical doctor who now heads a disclosure project and focuses on ending the secrecy around UFOs and UAPs. Welcome back to Vlad TV.
Thank you. Great to be here with you.
This is actually the first time we're face to face.
I know. It's great. I've been wanting to meet you for a long time.
Oh, yeah. No, last time we did it remotely, but I had to get in the same room with you.
Yes, so here we are. I'm glad you could come too.
Well, a lot has happened since last time.
Oh, boy.
So, Trump created a new task force that's focused on declassifying federal secrets, including UFOs. Mm-hmm. And Representative Anna Luna is heading up this task force.
Right.
Have they released anything so far?
No, and I'm not sure that...
And this was 4 months ago, so to update, no.
Ooh.
Yeah, so this is...
I didn't know this was that recent. Okay, 4 months ago, all this was filmed?
Yeah, all this Vlad TV stuff was, this whole interview.
Okay, cool.
So this would be like pretty much the most recent information on a lot of this stuff coming out of Greer's Corner anyway. This guy was on one of Art Bell's favorite guests. Yeah, he's we talked about that at the beginning. He was on Larry King. He was just on the PBD podcast. He's on Joe Rogan. Yeah,
it's been everywhere. But now, I read in certain media circles that Trump plans to declassify the UFO data now, like it's coming up, like that's his next thing on the agenda, which. If that does come up, well, that's, let's wait and see. But that might also just be yet another distraction from the Epstein files. So who knows? Shit's getting hot there.
We need to watch this one after this, the Luis Elizondo. We can probably squeeze that one in. It's only 3 minutes.
I do like watching Luis Elizondo. He seems like a much more genuine person, actually.
I think Steven's going to throw some shade at him. From this interview, it's just him talking about Luis.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure that Trump created that. That's been organized under the House Oversight Committee. Now, President Trump is wanting to declassify a number of documents and information, and everything is still under review from the White House point of view. The House Oversight Committee, because I personally have met with...
I cannot stop thinking about the Epstein files when he's saying this shit. Trump's going to release...
Is Dr. Greer a Trump supporter?
I don't know.
Okay.
But it's just funny to hear people claiming, Trump's going to declassify all this stuff. Is he, though? Seems like that was just a selling point.
Yeah, because he's someone who does everything that he says he's going to do.
Yeah, he says whatever he does to get your vote, to get your money.
And Burchett and had conversations with Representative Moskowitz and others. They have a task force that has a number of objectives. It's not only UAPs, other issues. I think the big problem I've seen in dealing with them for the last 2 or 3 years or so is that there's not a select committee with subpoena power, which they have to get. They've been blocked by some of the bad actors in the Congress.
You're blocked from releasing UFO files. In Congress.
Don't you hate being cock-blocked?
I remember these interviews and stuff with Moskowitz and the whistleblowers and stuff about the UFO things, and nothing that the people brought forward was like anything that could be substantiated, anything that carried any kind of weight, anything that actually held up under scrutiny. Yeah,
well, the latest. Like when the whistleblowers went to Congress, this latest one, did you watch it?
Yeah.
I was expecting more. I was definitely expecting
more. That's what I was thinking too. I'm like, well, this is nothing.
We know nothing new. Yeah.
Number 2, they don't have the funding for a specialized staff. So you need a staff of people who can become expert in this area. And if not, you're not going to be able to know anything. So my experience there is that we'll go in with briefing materials That's dispositive evidence and proof and firsthand witnesses. Other people who are professional military and intelligence disinformation operatives go in and then gaslight them in another direction. So for the most part, these people in Congress mean well, but they don't know where the washroom is. They don't even know.
Oh, yeah, it's them, Steve. It's them. Not you, who's an absolute expert on declassifying aerial phenomena as a, what was your career again? A medical emergency medicine? Obviously.
Sorry. But he's a meditation teacher too, don't forget.
A meditation teacher first. Yeah, he was a meditation teacher first, then he was a doctor.
I mean, here he's saying Congress doesn't know where the where the washroom is. No, in the last hearing where they were trying to disclose information, they were trying to get Congress to protect the whistleblowers and people who were going to talk. They were Congress was asking good questions. They didn't get any fucking answers.
It was, a lot of
like, who's in charge of this shit? Like, is there one person who's in charge of everything? What's going on?
Which brand or what portion of the military is dedicated to this, and where do they operate from? All kinds of questions that we could have had answers to.
What's the secret operation?
Exactly.
You know where the landscape is put out. So, and I don't see that changing. I know 3 years ago when I was brought into the Senate Intelligence Committee SCIF, the Secure Compartmented Information Facility, where you do exchange sensitive and top secret information. Those guys who are at the top.
Yeah, that's what they do.
He's the only one who knows about who talks about him being there, though. Nobody else has ever mentioned him being at any of these locations. It's always like his self-promoted claim. I was at the Pentagon. I was at the White House. I was at the Capitol.
Do you think he legit has delusions? I don't know.
I don't know what he thinks he's doing or who he thinks he's fooling.
Investigating this hadn't not gotten anywhere. But the lead guy was told, you can spend 10 or 20% of your time on this. But his portfolio was oversight of CIA, NSA, National Reconnaissance Office. It runs all the secret spy satellites. I mean, come on. You need a staff, 20, 30 people who drill down on all the evidence and get to the bottom of it. So it's not muscled up to the extent it has to be. So what I say is that they have two pathways here. They either get it done right, or at least they open up their inquiry to first-hand whistleblowing.
What does Stephen Greer think is right?
They
just vaguely. It's like they just do it right, and he doesn't explain what the right way would be. That this wasn't it.
You know what he sounds like, Marie? He sounds like a fucking cult leader is what he sounds like.
Right.
You talk with a sense of authority as if he actually does know what he's talking about. But no, you just bounce around the topic and like, oh, as long as people are picking up a little bit of shit that makes sense, sometimes they'll believe them. That's exactly what he's doing.
Blowers like Mr. Barber, and not bring in people who are second, third, and fourth hand, don't know anything. Right, so the hearing they had last
Congress
few
is
months
trying
ago
to. That's
in
what
the
they
House,
did.
there was no one there who knew anything about the subject. They were all second-hand, third-hand, speculative. People who had been with NASA but didn't know anything.
People who had been with NASA but didn't know anything. Yeah, Steve knows better than NASA, of course.
Was he not at the last Congress hearing, and is that what's going on? He's feeling butthurt about that or something?
He wasn't invited, yeah. It's like,
Luis Elizondo was there.
I'm an expert. Yeah, that's probably what it's going to come. That's probably what his rant about Luis in that next video is going to be, too. It's about him not...
Yeah. I can see it. I can see it.
Knew a number of them. And I'm going, why are these people testifying? You want someone who's actually...
Just said it! Did you hear him? He's like, why are these people testifying? Why aren't they talking to me? I'm the expert. It's like, because you meditate in the desert and shine flashlights at the sky, dude.
Well, if he's apparently worked with the government this whole time, like, why doesn't he directly go to them and be like, oh, here's what I know?
Oh, he does. He hangs out with Trump. Don't you know that? He hangs out with Kash Patel. But he doesn't know Elon Musk. Does not know Elon Musk. How dare you assume that he knows Elon Musk?
He's actually handled the craft, handled the bodies, been operational on a retrieval team, or even like Mr. Herrera, who came across this thing and almost lost his life by these thugs who said, "Look, we're going to mention this, you're dead."
Thugs.
So now those are the people who need to be sworn in under oath. Now, the reason I say we have to have subpoena power is that if it's in the Congress, they can't force someone to come in, right, without a subpoena. They can invite people. But the really high value targets that I have on my list.
Then why don't you come in, Steve? If you can just come in, just come in.
That's my question. Why doesn't he just go give the government all the information they need? Then they don't have to deal with secondhand witnesses.
Yeah, he has direct contact, like regular direct contact.
Yeah.
So do it. Do it, Stephen.
They got to be subpoenaed. And then if they lie under oath to Congress, they got a problem. Now,
happy to see you too, John Fapiano. Thank you for stopping
by.
Hey,
John Fapiano. Hey.
Other pathway, which I think is more viable, would require executive orders from the president, and that would be under the executive branch and law enforcement. And law enforcement can compel.
Pretty willing to do just about anything. He's taken over Los Angeles with the armed forces, so maybe he will get executive orders and declassify Area 51 or Hangar 18 or whatever you want declassified, Stephen. Just all you got to do is go before Congress and say, "Hey, here's the evidence."
I'll believe it when I see it.
Without a subpoena, if you're brought in by a federal agent and asked about something and you lie, it's a felony, point blank. So the more efficient way to do
and
this,
yet it happens all the time.
Whenever I've talked to a cop, I don't know anything about anything unless we're talking like a missing person or something like that. No, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know Nancy Hill. Right?
I don't know Bree.
Yeah. First rule is don't talk to the cops. Come on, Stephen.
My opinion would be that the House and the Senate to investigate this, refer it to DOJ because it's criminal activity. We can prove that. And then DOJ assigns to whatever divisions.
And of course, the DOJ is just being super compliant with human rights and everything right now as well, in both California and when it comes to trans people or queer people existing. Yeah. DOJ, of course, that's who we'll hang our hat on.
People to go out and do a proper investigation and pull people in and interrogate them, and if necessary, get warrants, no-knock warrants to move into corporate locations. And
there should be no such thing as no-knock warrants. That should not be a thing that exists in reality. That is definitely government overreach.
You are correct.
Facilities that I have locations for.
But these days, I mean,
the evidence and proof. So that is something that could happen.
Well, rules do not apply.
Right.
Damn, look at that. Look at that. Like, I guess it's a smile.
Is that a smile?
If we could get executive
over on the right here.
So that's what we recommend. There are 5
executive orders interview picture too. Them.
And we'll see.
Oh boy.
Photos of Congress UFO hearing. Here's going to go on about Luis Elizondo.
All right, Luis Elizondo. Let's do it.
Let's go.
Well, you mentioned Luis Elizondo a few times. So there was a second congressional meeting that happened in, I think, November of 2024.
And it was worthless.
Luis Elizondo was one of the 4 experts that spoke on this. What exactly is your issue with Luis?
Oh, did you see his face?
I don't know him, and I have no animus towards him personally at all. I just know that the
Expert.
top CIA guy in the
He's
last
like,
4
yeah,
years,
no.
Who's advises
I want to
us,
see it. Hold on. I was
guy,
looking down.
animist.
You
was-
were absolutely right.
well, I haven't. I
he
don't
doesn't
know
think
him.
very
Let's
highly
smoke
of
on
him.
this. What exactly is your issue with Lewis?
I haven't. I don't know him, and I have no animus towards him personally at all. I just know that the top CIA guy in the last 40 years, who's advises us, who's very clandestine, immediately when he surfaced said, "This is the master of disinformation, and these are the things he's going to be saying that are false."
Of
What
course.
I tell people, I don't have a
That's
problem
what
with anybody.
someone trying to cover
but I have
something
a-
up would say.
I don't have a problem with him. He's just the master of disinformation. If he's the master of disinformation, wouldn't you have a problem with him? I have a problem with anybody who's the master of disinformation. I want truth. Simple
Yeah.
request.
have a problem with someone
have a
deliberately
problem.
providing false information to novices, people who are just trying to investigate this with the best of intentions, like Miss Luna and others, and they are being gaslit and deceived. That's my problem. But my bigger problem is that what is the agenda of that deception? The agenda of the deception.
Yeah, he doesn't explain why he wants no-knock warrants out, Jer. We're just gonna have to speculate that he likes in movies when the cops kick in the doors and people are in their underwear and they point flashlights at him. That's what his favorite part of the action movies is. And he's like, they cannot stop doing this. I want
Why does it?
I want my political enemies to be caught in their underwear by the police. Is that too much to ask?
Right. Is it too much to ask for him to say, "Oh, if Luis Elizondo is spreading disinformation, how so? Give us some fucking examples of what he said and how he's wrong."
He would be able to if we let him have his no-knock warrants. He could go catch Louise right there in his underwear in his house, and with all the evidence, and it'd be on TV. And that's what he'll get for not. That's what they'll get for not inviting him to Congress.
Yeah.
Deception is to get people on the side of an alien threat to supports the same cabal that's been keeping the secret, right?
Cabal.
And at the same time, present something that would be much more terrifying than 9/11 or COVID, and try to seize control of people's freedoms under this, sort of ruse of a threat from outer space. So long before I got on the stage doing this, I think that had already been baked into the cake, because they started abducting people and doing cattle mutilations in the late 50s and 60s.
Oh, cattle
The
mutilations.
first mutilated
Dude.
animal.
That was Luis
We didn't even touch
Elizondo.
on that.
Yeah.
What?
Did you know that was Luis Elizondo that was doing that? Because
He's saying that Luis Elizondo is actually doing the cattle mutilations?
Not at all, but like this video is about Luis Elizondo, and he's like, you know what? Let's talk about cattle mutilations in the 50s instead, decades before this guy was born.
Apparently they're still happening, though, all over the place.
Yeah, of course. Tucker
Same with
Carlson
crop
talked about
circles.
him. Mm-hmm. If
'Cause
Tucker's covering it, that's the source of truth. We should do Tucker Carlson on Charlatan's Web too.
Oh, we absolutely should.
He's
do the one where he's talking about demons in his bed and all these scratches that he woke up.
I actually have that already covered on my my Live from the Hive. Yeah, I really did. I covered that because I was not gonna let that slide. He sleeps with his wife and 5 dogs, and he woke up with scratches on his body. What a mystery!
Yep. It had to be demons, of course.
Yeah. What else could it be, Nancy?
No other explanation.
They're the 5, because if anything else would come in there, the 5 dogs in the bed would have barked at him.
Named Snippy.
I'll have to go back and
the
see
doctor,
that. That's awesome.
Who was called in on that, hematologist pathologist from Denver, was a very good friend of mine. And I went out to his home, and he says, that was absolutely a covert human operation. But of course, then you get people who write books like
Covert human operation. And Steven would know because he communicates telepathically with the aliens directly.
Linda Moot Howe, an alien harvest, and they're harvesting body parts. Yeah, they are, but it's not ETs. It's a covert human program. So I think the hardest thing, that I've had to deal with, and I was warned about this in 1991 by an old CIA hand, a different guy. He was a character. He was like this chain-smoking, looked like the cigarette man in it.
It was the smoking man from X-Files. I think that's what I was about to say.
X-Files. And long hair. And
Have
he
you
said,
watched these already?
He knew the real smoking man. I've watched some of them, and I watched it through at high speed. So I usually watching everything through before at 2x speed.
The real Marlboro Man, by the way. Yeah. Real Marlboro Man. All right, cool. I was just curious if you had actually watched through this or if this is your raw reaction too. I haven't seen this interview either.
Yeah, I've seen parts of it, but not every. At least I haven't focused on every minute of it. But it's kind of funny. He's like, yeah, I knew the real smoking man from X-Files. Yeah, I bet you did.
He said, look, the truth about this is so much stranger than the fiction UFO
terrible personality
and that the public believe. And it's going to be the hardest thing. And it's so strange, it covers itself. So, and if you expose the truth, you will discredit yourself because no one wants to hear that truth. They want to hear the narrative we've been selling since the 50s.
The narrative that did we go to the moon with alien technology? I think Stephen Greer is a believer in that, and NASA used alien technology.
Really? Huh. Is he saying that if we were to actually come in contact with aliens, we would just be disappointed because we have certain stereotype in our minds?
Yeah.
And everything's going to be different.
I want them to enslave me and hook me up to. Oh, that's. Hold on. This is a whole different fantasy. We'll talk about that later after the show. I'll tell you about it.
Alien porn.
Yes. Tentacles everywhere.
Tentacle porn. Yeah.
Yeah. It's far from spaceship to spaceship. Just tentacles everywhere.
That life, baby. Woo!
And that's true. I mean, it's a very frustrating situation. And so my problem with anyone in this field is that if they don't know what they're talking about, they should be quiet. If they do know what they're talking about and they're spreading disinformation and covering up some of the facts of this, then I have a real problem with them, and I will call them out. I'd call out anyone who would go in that direction, whether it's the President of the United States or whoever it is, because you cannot let this happen. If this happens, we'd be looking at a catastrophic global situation.
And he still didn't answer a damn thing.
Right.
He mentioned Luis Elizondo once, and then he just kept talking a couple times about disinformation and what? Okay.
We're supposed to infer that Luis is full of disinformation, but it just sounds like shade and sour grapes to me.
Yeah.
All right. Excuse me.
Yay.
I'm going to redirect this to Dr. Ben, right?
Yeah. Does it start in 5 minutes?
It starts in half an hour, but.
Oh, okay. Oh, is it 8:30 Central?
Yeah. And let me see.
Awesome.
Here. But why don't you, while I'm pulling this up, go ahead and just fill everybody in on what you got coming up in the next few weeks.
Oh gosh. Well, we just have our we have a couple interviews coming out. We're booked through the fall. Otherwise, we did just record sort of a review on the Ark Encounter protest because Patty wasn't able to attend, but I was. And so I'm just talking with her about it. So I kind of got to get to editing and get that one out. Otherwise, it's just our usual. We do have a series coming up where we react to cult literature. This is something in our Unpack It series that we have talked about before, but we're going to be reading through a bunch of cult literature that our old cult leader used to write. It's pretty gnarly stuff. He was quite a racist, and he was a misogynist. Some people said he was a pedophile. So actually reading the kind of shit that he was teaching back in the 30s when he kicked off the cult is pretty interesting. And so, stick around because he mentions all kinds of things about World War II, and he may have been a Hitler supporter. We don't know yet, but we're going to figure it out. So that's the type of stuff we're going to be reading here pretty soon. So I would say in the next 2 or 3 weeks, we'll be kicking that off. So
absolute
good time.
Scandal. Yes.
Yeah, and I'm sorry we haven't been on like a live stream in a while on our channel. My apologies, but Patty and I have been extremely busy lately. Oh, sorry.
Everybody's just like, where are our apostate sisters? We need them. We need them. Yes.
Sorry.
No. You all take whatever time you need to take care of whatever you need. We love having you around.
Oh, yes. It's always fun to hang out. But we may have to change things around because it's been around this time every other Friday. And I don't know, a lot going on, including your series here now, the Charlatan's Web. So... and Dr. Ben's thing, so we may switch it to like a Tuesday night or whatever. We'll see what the viewers think.
This is fairly early for me for this show at 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
But I'm not committed to this time slot or anything, so I don't know.
Okay. Oh, you're in a different time zone than me then. Okay.
I'm in El Paso. I'm in Mountain Time.
Okay.
Yeah. It's about 7 o'clock right now, so Ben's show will be in a half an hour. Oh my gosh, and I want to say thank you to Jester for the $10. Appreciate you. Hope you enjoyed Charlatan's Web tonight. We covered...
That was fun.
Yeah, Dr. Stephen Greer and the CE5 UFO phenomenon. Next week, I will be doing Todd Standing and Sylvanic Bigfoot and the Sylvanic Bigfoot scandals, because we'll see what the scandals are when we cover it. But yeah, Captive Desk Dave will be joining me, also from Grassman Chronicles. And he was also at the protest.
I met him. That was great fun. Yes, he got up to speak for a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of people didn't realize he had that big long ponytail.
Yeah. Yeah, that was I wasn't expecting that. It looked great. He's so sweet. He's so nice. Everyone was so nice. Yeah. So all right, I will catch that.
I'm glad you got to go though. Happy you got to spend time and meet some friendly people. And yeah, if you haven't yet, subscribe to the Apostate Sisters. And if someone could drop a link for Patty and Nancy's channel. Yep.
Appreciate it.
And Aunt Jer's doing it before I even think about it. She's also
Thank
on
you,
top
Enter.
of things. Yeah. All right. Love you. I think we're going to close it out here. Thank you so much for joining me for this. This is the kind of the first time I've done this with a guest. So thank you. Yeah, it was really
thank
fun.
you, Bree. I feel honored. And this was so much fun to be able to hang out with you even before. And I'll hang out with you after the show. I think you're going over to, no, you have a date.
I have a date.
Not going over to Dr. Ben's. I'll go over to Dr. Ben's. But thank you for having me on the show. That was so much fun. You're always a joy to hang out with.
And all y'all stick around because I'm sending you over to Dr. Ben's too. So if you just stick around here. Oh, and Kip's streaming in 2 hours, so maybe Ben can redirect to that from when his ends. All right. Well, I'm going to go to the outro. Thank you so much. And you all remember to be kind, take care, and I'll see a lot of you all in the morning with Live from the Hive. So, yeah.